who was the Buddha and what did he teach? I could imagine that every Buddhist has their own idea of who the Buddha was, what he really taught, what really Buddhism is all about. And I think it's okay that everybody has their own idea. In my case, when I think about the Buddha and about his kind of original question, I think about myself when I was 7 years old. So I kind of see the Buddha through my own eyes, and I think that's okay. So for me, the Buddha is somebody who questioned the meaning of his life. He felt he was suffering, and that's something that is also speaking to me. That was the case for myself. Life is, well, not satisfactory. You're never completely satisfied. Why is that? Because you always want it different than it is. You always want the things that you can't have, and the things that you have are exactly those that you don't want to have. That goes for people, that goes for things, that goes for everything in your life. It's never exactly the way you want it. And then the traditional Buddhist view would be, well, the reason why it is that way is because you have attachment, but there's the Eightfold Path to deal with that attachment, to reduce the attachment. The more you reduce the attachment, the more you get liberated. From my perspective, I would say the way to liberation is to, first of all, how do you say, really get into contact with the suffering, accept the suffering, rather than say, I suffer because I'm attached, so now I need to reduce my attachment. I would say really get absorbed by this suffering, and the moment you get absorbed in the suffering, you often realize actually it's not so bad. Life is not the way I thought it's supposed to be, but it doesn't have to be the way it's supposed to be. Or for example, one example would be pain. When you sit for long hours, often you feel pain. Pain is the, how do you say, the way suffering, or dukkha as it's called in India, unsatisfactoriness manifests as pain during sitting. How can you be liberated from pain? By just being in pain without doing anything. So you even try to stop, to reduce the pain or get out of the pain. And then there are all those moments where you realize, okay, there's pain, but actually there's no problem with that. You could say in a way, there's pain, but there's nobody who's feeling the pain, or it doesn't hurt anymore. There's the pain, but it doesn't hurt anymore. And I think the same is true about all of suffering. So you just accept suffering at face value, but then you realize there's no problem with it. Until then, you thought, well, I have a problem with my suffering. I need to do something about it. And in my view, when the Buddha, after 6 years of ascetic practice, just sat down under the Bodhi tree and sat, he did exactly that. He stopped trying to deal with the suffering. He even didn't try to reduce the suffering anymore, but he sat with the suffering and he saw the morning star and realized, oh, that's it. That's it. And to make the thing more, well, customer friendly in a way, he invented maybe the Eightfold Path, or maybe it was even his disciple who invented this, well, custom friendly 8 steps to liberation. And then you have the 12-fold chain of mutual dependent origination, and you have, I don't know, 53 steps to bodhisattvahood. But for me, it's basically about this, just sitting in the state of unsatisfactoriness. And in that moment, actually, nothing is missing anymore. You realize nothing was missing from the start. So that for me is Buddhism, but I'm not sure if that's what actually the Buddha taught. but to be honest, I don't care so much.